I know the struggle. You want to test the newest tools, experiment with motion, push your vision, but every click eats up your credits. I've been there, so I made this video for you. Hi, I'm Jessica with the Real AI Agents, and as a creative partner with Luma AI, I get the freedom to test features and share what I find helpful about them with all of you, so you don't have to burn through your credits just to learn the ropes. In this guide, I'll show you every Ray 2 camera motion in action, break down how to use them effectively, and give you a quick reference guide that you can come back to anytime you need it. Let's unlock the full power of Ray 2 and upgrade your Luma AI videos together without the guesswork. So first things first, we want to go ahead and head over to lumalabs.ai, and you'll see all of the fun video they have going over here about the camera motion, but we're going to come right down here to the Try Now in Dream Machine. And once you get inside of Luma, they have what are called boards here. So you'll see that I've already created a board to go along with the guide with all of the things that we're going to look at today. But right now, I want to show you how you can set up videos for yourself in here using the camera motion before we cover all of the different options available. So to start a new board, we're going to go ahead and click this plus sign down here. And you have a couple options. You can do a text to video if you would like, or you can do an image to video inside of Ray 2. But we're going to go ahead and do an image to video of some images that I've already created. So we're going to change this down here to videos, and we're going to put our aspect ratio on 16:9. And you can see that when I changed it, this little camera button popped up down here. That's where we're going to access our camera motion tools. So this is the first image I'm going to go ahead and pull in. So all I did was upload that by clicking the button here, or you can drag it right on in and just drop it off. You do have a couple of different options inside of Luma when you're creating the videos. You can actually create a video without a prompt inside of Luma, which is something you can't do on a lot of other video generation systems. Most of them require at least a short prompt to get anything done. But I'm going to show you a couple different ways here. So let's go ahead and first just choose some camera motion here. So let's go ahead and we'll just simply put a zoom out on this one. And then all you have to do is hit the little arrow to generate. And again, I want to use the same image. So I'm going to come back up here to the top and I'm just going to click that image, and you'll see that it then puts it right back into that input spot there. And this time, let's go ahead and give it a prompt of something simple, like the camera zooms out to reveal the woman filming the video in her backyard. So inside of this prompt, you'll notice that this time I didn't turn the camera motion on. We just used the prompt directive, the camera zooms out. So let's go ahead and run that. And then again, we'll pull it in. And this time we'll put that prompt back in, and we'll also turn on the zoom out camera motion. We'll let that one generate. And while that one's working, we'll go ahead and grab in another image of a woman with a camera here. I figured that was fitting since we're talking about camera settings. Both of these images were made in Midjourney V7, which seems to work really well with cinematic shots inside of Luma. A little later on in this video, I'll show you how you can use Luma's image generation system, Phonton, though, to create some images and use these camera motions. So for now, let's go ahead and I'll show you how you can put multiple camera motion styles onto an image. So for this one, let's go ahead and we will choose handheld. We'll choose zoom out. And one of the options I've had the most fun playing with here is bulk cam. So we'll add that one as well. And we'll go ahead and generate that. And then for this next example, I'm going to show you the other camera motion that I've had a lot of fun with that most people don't really know exactly what it does. So if you come in, I'm going to choose this princess here with the castle behind her just for fun. This would be a good intro scene for some of my storytelling. So I'm going to go ahead and come in, and this time I'm going to choose this roll left here. And I'm also going to choose this pull out. Now, while all of those are generating, and we'll come back in just a second to check them out and go a little bit deeper into some things that you can do here, let's take a look at the board that I made inside of Luma to show all of the different camera actions that we've got here. So I took one image. You can see here, it is the woman standing, looking very fierce on top of a rooftop here with a glowing portal behind her and a cityscape in the background. So I figured using one image for all of the different camera motions would really give you guys an understanding of exactly what that motion is doing to the photo itself. So I also created a guide that is downloadable that has each one of these video examples along with the camera motion, what I found it to do, and what I would use it for personally in projects that I would consider the ideal use. Just from the experiments and what I observed as I've been playing with these tools. So hopefully you guys find this really helpful. If you do, definitely would appreciate you leaving a comment and letting me know so that this video can be seen by even more people. And if you haven't already, be sure you give this video a like and subscribe to the channel. I should also mention that if you decide you want to sign up for a membership with Luma, there is an affiliate link that you can use that will help support the channel down in the description of this video. Now let's get into talking about these different camera motions and what they do. So the first one we have here is the static. So what that is basically the camera is just going to stay still while there's still motion going on in other parts of the image. This is ideal really for when you want to focus on what's happening in the frame without distraction. So if we take a look here at the Luma example of that static, you can see the camera is not moving. There's no real depth being added to the scene or anything like that. But the motion of her turning her head does seem much more dramatic, the light going out behind her. You can see where that static effect really helps with this shot if I'm going for like a dramatic closing scene. Next up, we have handheld. This is, if you think about it, like if you were the person holding a camcorder. It's going to be a little bit shaky, just like it would be if it was a human with a camera, but it is ideal for like action shots or like really trying to convey a sense of urgency or that raw emotion feel to a shot. So if we take a look at our Luma example here, you can see it really gets rid of everything else that's going on the scene and just focuses on her and the emotion and her sense of urgency and what she's doing. Definitely looks like somebody with a camcorder or someone handed her a camcorder and she's just filming up as she walks. Definitely has that shake effect going on. Next up, we've got zoom in. This is basically where the lens magnifies the subject, but the camera is actually seeming to stay in place. So this is great for highlighting a reaction or drawing attention to detail. Coming in here to check that out, you can see the camera is staying stationary, but it's really zooming into her face, gives us a lot of the feel for like the stoic look she has on her face here. I'm really impressed by how it doesn't warp the character at all, especially when you do pull those images in from Midjourney V7 here, those cinematic images. It's really keeping the quality very high on those zoom ins. So the flip side of that is zoom out. So you guessed it, that's just where the lens is pulling back to reveal more of the scene. This is perfect for revealing the full setting or the context of the scene. So if we look at the zoom out here on that same image, you can see, look at how much more of the scene is being revealed here. I mean, these buildings didn't even exist in the original image. You could not see her boots in the original image, so you see that it's pulling out. It's keeping the legs correct there. You can see the water glistening on the rooftop where it's pulling out and revealing how large the scene really is. Next up, we have pan right. This is where the camera rotates horizontally to the right. It's perfect for when you're following motion or trying to reveal more details across the scene as far as what's happening to the right of the scene. So if we take a look here, you can see our character seems to be staying in place, but the camera is moving over to reveal more of the buildings and the cityscape in the background there off to the right. Flip side of that, we got pan left. That's the exact same thing, but this time the camera is rotating to the left horizontally. Again, perfect for revealing more scenes or following the movement of a character. We haven't prompted for our character to move in this at all, so it's just going to be revealing the scene to the left. Okay, so we can see if we take a look here, it definitely pulls the camera to the left horizontally. It's not moving vertically at all, and it is revealing more of the scene over here. I really like this addition here with the glowing building in the background. Then we've got tilt up. This is where the camera is moving vertically while staying in place. Really ideal for when you're trying to reveal the scale of an image or show a vertical relationship. So we can see here, that's exactly what it's doing. It is in one place, tilting up to reveal more of the portal in the background, the rain falling from the sky, the top of the buildings up here. Definitely can see where it is tilting up. Opposite of that, we've got tilt down. This is just the exact same thing, but this time instead of going up, the camera's going down. Perfect for the same thing if you're trying to reveal more of a scene, what's happening below the eyesight that you already have in the image. This is perfect. So if we look here, we've got the tilt down. So we can see it's created the boots here, shows us more of the rooftop down here below what's happening in our line of sight from the original image. Okay, and then we have push in. And all this means is the camera physically moves towards the subject. So in the ones we were just using, the camera was staying stationary. Now we're starting to get some actual movement from the perspective of the camera. This is perfect for when you're trying to create really intense emotional scenes or a sense of intimacy. So if we take a look here, you can see where the camera actually does appear to be coming towards her, and it's really pushing in on her face here so that we can really get a sense of her emotion in this scene. Everything else just kind of fades away in the background, and your attention is really brought directly to the subject of the image. The flip side of that is pull out, and this is just where the camera physically moves backwards from the subject. So if you're trying to create like a sense of suspense or emotional detachment or really distancing from the original scene, this is the one you want to go with. So we can see here, it just seems like the person who has the camera is just backing up slowly and really kind of revealing just a little bit of the scene behind her here, but really sort of detaching from the character. You can see those details that we saw in the push in are really lost in this image on her face, and she becomes not as important in the scene. Okay, then we've got truck left. So this means that the entire camera is moving sideways, like lateral tracking. This is perfect for revealing more of a scene or following a subject around in the scene. So you can see here, it seems like the camera is actually moving to the left and distancing itself from the character here. It certainly is revealing more of the scene. This is the first time we've gotten a perspective of what's happening behind the character here. We can see the cars on the road and a lot more of the buildings and what's going on in the background. The flip side of that is truck right. Exact same thing, only this time we're heading to the right in that lateral tracking. Again, great for following your subject or revealing more of the scene around the subject. So here we go. This time we can see the same type of motion occurring with it heading to the right this time instead of the left. Then we've got pedestal up. This just means that the camera is moving vertically without tilting. So this time, instead of the camera staying stationary and tilting the lens up, it's actually the whole camera that's going to be going up. It's perfect for showing hierarchy or revealing new space vertically that hasn't been seen in the image. So if we take a look here, you can see it does appear like the camera is just going up above the character, almost gets to the top of her head here. So we see a lot more of the background and what's going on behind her here. We can see additional rooftops in the background. The cars are actually moving on the road. I love how in this image it created the rain behind her. Does a really nice job here on the pedestal up. It's perfect for like an opening scene or anything like that where you really just want to capture the moment on what's going on behind the character. Opposite that, we have pedestal down. You guessed it, that just means that the camera is moving vertically down without tilting this time. Perfect for the same stuff, revealing new spaces vertically and showing that hierarchy. So if we take a look at that, you can see where it appears like the camera is coming down. Interesting little detail here. It did make some like spikes on her boots, which I thought was kind of cool, but it really takes the focus away from what's happening up here on the character down to the look of her standing and her stance, the boots. Very cool how it reveals a whole new part of the scene there. I love how the reflection of the rain coming down actually looks really, really good in this scene on the water on the rooftop. Now we're getting into the orbit. First, we've got orbit left. That just means that the camera is circling left around the subject. So this is perfect for adding like a little bit of dynamic flair or revealing different angles of the subject in the image. So if we take a look here, it feels like the camera is actually rotating around our subject to the left here. So you can see that now it's giving her more of that three-dimensional appearance as far as her body. It's not just the front view there. Opposite of that, obviously, is orbit right. So same thing, but this time it's gonna orbit around the subject to the right instead. This really works well for revealing the angles, especially if you combine the orbit right and orbit left images or shots together. You can really get that full 3D effect to your character. So here's that orbit right example, and you can see that really now it's giving her some dimension. We can see the backside of her outfit for the first time in any of these images. So in combination of what we did with the orbit right and the orbit left, we've now seen all 360 degrees around our character subject here and the city around her. Then we've got our crane up option. This is where the camera is lifted up smoothly from a low point. So this is perfect for cinematic entrances and exits or showing vast space around the character. So if we look here, you can see where it's coming up. It's really showing a lot more of the detail of the cars on the road there. We got a whole top-down view of her head here. We can see how far she's standing away from the edge of the roof and a lot more of what's going on in the scene behind her there. That would be a perfect opening scene. If we flip that crane style around and we do crane down, same thing. It's just this time the camera is going to be lowered smoothly from a high point instead of a low point. Used for the same type of scene shots when you're doing an entrance or an exit or to add some more vast space to your video. So if we look here at this one, you can see it's craning down, it's revealing more of the sky behind her. It's really making her appear larger than life. Like she is the focus of this shot for sure. Then we've got our roll left. So I use these probably most often in the work that I do. If you've watched the channel, you know I love to do like dreamscape videos and very like surreal, fun kind of psychedelic videos on a lot of my creative projects. And so this is perfect. It really gives kind of that fun feel to things. This is where the camera rotates along the lens axis, like tilting your head sideways, but doing it kind of fast. The ideal use for this one is to create a sense of disorientation or transition, perfect for like dream or glitch sequences. So if we take a look at that, you can see it is sort of just like our heads are tilting slowly, and then it kind of speeds up a little bit there. Really adds a little bit of flair to what I'm doing with that scene. This works really well if you have an image without like a subject character, like a pattern type image where you can do the rotation on that and also put something like a kaleidoscope effect on it. Comes out super cool. Then opposite of that, we got roll right. That's just the exact same thing, but this time we're tilting our head the opposite direction. Same thing, perfect for dream scenes, transitions, disorientation, all that stuff. If we look at that, this one makes me a little bit more dizzy when I roll to the right versus the left on a lot of the images. You can see she's got a lot more rotation to her. She's almost completely upside down by the time the scene ends. If we were to extend that, which we could do by just hitting the extend video here, I bet she would end up upside down. So let's go ahead and just try that. After all, these are my credits, not yours, so why not, right? Up we have Dolly Zoom. That option will allow you to do some zooming in while pulling the camera out, or vice versa, which will create sort of a background warping effect, perfect for dramatic realization or creating tension in a scene. So if we look here, you can see where the background is sort of disappearing behind her and it's really coming into that intense look on her face here, kind of creating like a blur back here before it really focuses in. Then we've got another one that I really like using. I haven't found this to be effective on a lot of other video generation systems when you prompt with the camera direction for Bolt Cam. It does it beautifully on Ray 2 here, guys. So this is perfect, not just talking about what's going on inside of these creative video projects that we're doing, but if you're someone who's using these tools for like product shots or something like this, that is the option you want to choose, Bolt Cam, when you're doing fun product shots here. At the end of the video, I'll show you how you could set up a product shot if you're interested in that once we're done going over everything else. So what the Bolt Cam option does is it's extremely fast, but it's precise, almost robot controlled like motion, often used in slow motion or product shots. Perfect for complex stylized moves, fast motion matched to music or action moves. So if we take a look at that, you can see here, very precise movements. It's going all around the character. We're seeing every angle of her here, far away, close up, but it's so fast. There's no the camera's dragging from one point to another. It's literally just all angles, different scenes. Definitely has a cool effect there on the Bolt Cam. I really like combining the Bolt Cam with a couple other ones. That's why when we set up our examples, I use that as one of the examples. I think we'll be really happy with how that comes out. We'll check all those out as soon as we're done wrapping up these different motions. And we're almost there. We've only got 3 more. So the next one is aerial drone. This is simply like a flying camera that would be attached to a drone, capturing views from above the scene. Perfect for showcasing environments. If you've tried to prompt systems before for aerial drone shots, you've probably noticed that a lot of times it will actually create a drone inside of the image, which can be kind of weird. You'll see that I had to run this one a couple times to get one I was happy enough to actually use as an example. But here's a good shot right here. So you can really tell how the camera seems to be flying around the scene. You're seeing a close-up of her here, but it's still very fluid in the movement as though it is flying around her. You're getting kind of that disorienting effect of the scene behind her that you would get from a drone shot that might be, turning around to look at something else. Then we've got this tiny planet here. I haven't used this one a whole lot myself personally in any of my projects, but it is really cool, and I've seen other people use this in some really cool use cases on different platforms. So what this is like a 360-degree shot manipulated to make the world look spherical, like a mini world, basically. It's perfect for stylized intros or really whimsical outros. So we don't have a whimsical image here, but it does give us a pretty stylized intro if we take a look. You can see that it's really pulling out and creating that kind of globe-like effect behind her on the buildings. It's morphing into just being able to see the top of the buildings here, really pulling in the scene and making it unrealistic on how you would actually see it if she were just having a shot taken by a camera on here. The portal does disappear, but it really brings in that kind of almost like a snow globe effect here. And finally, we have elevator doors. So what this just means is it's a visual style where a scene splits open like elevator doors to reveal another layer. This is perfect for transitions between scenes or if you're trying to reveal a dramatic contrast. So we can see that because I only used one image instead of using the keyframes, it really just took the image, created some elevator doors, and revealed her again. This is one that's good to use if you're using 2 images to create that keyframe transition there. And that takes care of all of those camera motions. Remember that you guys can download that guide for yourself in the description of this video and use it to take a look at as you're creating your videos in case you've forgotten, exactly what camera motion does what. I really hope you guys find that helpful. If you do, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. So if we come down here and we take a look at that video that we extended here, you can see she is definitely rolling. It does take her almost all the way There she goes. She's fully upside down now. That's almost a complete roll there. We've got 9 seconds worth of footage there, so that's perfect. I love extending videos on Ray 2. They come out really well and they're very fluid from scene to scene as far as having an extended scene. So really, really happy with that. Let's head back into Luma, into the video generations that we set up together here. We, if you remember, had that shot of the woman with her camera. So here we've got our first one where we just put the camera motion without a prompt as far as putting the zoom out effect on. Definitely does the zoom out. It's got almost like a school or library type building back here. It has put her in kind of like a courtyard type setting. You can really see it extends out and creates a whole outfit here for her. You couldn't tell she was wearing black jeans in the close-up shot. All of these images came from Midjourney 7, and they were all close-ups of the woman with the camera when we started. So to have it reveal such a vast scene is really remarkable. Now you'll notice on the second one, when we put in the prompt for the camera zoom out to reveal the woman filming in her backyard, here's the original video. It was an AI fail for sure. You can see when she turns around, oh, she grew a third arm. So definite fail on that one there. So I did go ahead and rerun that just so that we could see here. Again, it just put like a 3-fingered hand up here. Not very good on the putting the actual camera direction on it without using the motion camera. So to give you an idea of what a difference it makes to have this camera motion ability inside of Luma Ray 2 now, that's a huge difference from that. What we just saw here to this with just the prompting for the camera motion is amazing. So now when we actually come in here, and you'll notice that this just shifted as I came through the videos, I want to show you guys something that makes Luma really, really useful for ideation. First off, this is the scene where we actually prompted for the camera zoom out to reveal the woman filming in her backyard, along with the camera motion option for the zoom out. So you can see that we did get a house back here. You can tell that really is a backyard. She's even got a guy back there helping her with the audio or something like that. It's got a whole scene revealed all around her there with the zoom out. Really powerful stuff there. What you'll notice is up here in the prompt, I've got a couple of little areas that I can hover over and it gives me some options on how to change things. They call these pills up here. So I went ahead and let's choose another one just so that you can see. But let's say we want to see her filming in a bustling street market. We'll have that generate while we take a look here. You can see on this one, I changed the backyard to a serene lakeside with the zoom out. So if we take a look at it, you can see it has created a house on the water of the serene lake. So it kind of took both ideas and put them together here. But all in all, I mean, look at that scene that it created behind us there. For just having a close-up shot, again, it changed her outfit. So now she's not wearing the black jeans. She's got on white kind of distressed denim there. How cool is that? To just be able to take a close-up shot and end up with something like that is absolutely remarkable. The other thing that you can change is the camera motion itself, where it has the pill here for the zoom out. We can see that when we click that, it brings up the entire menu from the same menu that we have when we use the camera motion down by the prompt box. So let's say, for example, we want to see a bustling street market with the camera maybe doing a pedestal up this time. You can see that it then creates the new video over here, and it's still dreaming of that bustling city market, so we'll come back up to that one. But here's the one where we combined 3 different camera motions together. So we put handheld, zoom out, and bulk cam. And we can see that from taking that close-up shot of the woman with the braided hair and the camera here, it really does have that shaky kind of handheld feel along with the robotic bulk cam motion and the zoom out. So very cool there. And again, I could change any of those and do 3 completely new videos here. Then we've got our princess with the roll left and pull out. We can see here that it didn't really do the pull out the way I would have expected it to, but it did do a nice roll there on the castle. So that would be good for an opening dream sequence. Now here we've got where we added in the prompt. I took the same prompt, the woman filming a video in her backyard, and put the zoom out on it without adding the zoom out camera motion like we did in this first original one here that we were looking at with the camera zoom out to reveal the woman filming the scene in her backyard. So when I removed that, you can see it really gave us much more of a scene behind her, a vast scene here. We've got houses on this hillside here. You can tell it's a house. She's filming. It's doing the zoom out perfectly. Everything is smooth. This is a great shot here. So sometimes if you've put the camera motion on and you find that it's tripping it up, I recommend just taking that off of your prompt and just using the camera motion button instead of having it in the prompt. So I talked to you guys about the product shot earlier. I went ahead and had Luma's Phonton create an image here. And in order to do that, I'll just copy this prompt real quick and show you how we can do that. This button down here, you've got the option for video that we chose earlier. This time let's choose image, and I'm going to change the size to 1:1. And I've got that prompt in there now, and you can see that it's going to generate every time I ask for an image, it will generate 4 images for me. So we've got a couple different options to choose from here. I think I like this one best for a product shot. So all I have to do is choose this image and I can hit make video here and you'll see that it brings it in. Or if I'm on the board screen and I just came in to do something, I can grab that image and just pull it right on into the start frame here. And then I'll go ahead and apply the bolt cam and we'll run that. And you can see up here, I made some images and I went ahead and I chose this one right here. I really like this one. So I did a run here on just the bolt cam motion and we can see it did put some motion on it. Not exactly what I would be looking for in a product shot, and this hasn't been upscaled yet. To upscale it, all I have to do is hit this little upscale button down here. But you can see that when I added in the prompt of a product shot revealing every side of the potion bottle and included the bolt cam, how much better of a video I got here. So we're seeing every angle, every side of that potion bottle. It even created a backside with a little ornate like emblem type thing on it to match the scene. I'm very, very impressed by that. I think that looks super good there. And our example is almost done dreaming here. There we go. You can see with that bolt cam motion on that we did there, that's exactly what we got. In and out, different angles, that very robotic-like movement here. Perfect job on that. So you can see in real time exactly how I use this and the features that are included in the update that they did with the camera motion inside of Ray 2. I'm very impressed by the updates. You guys probably know there's been a lot of things that have changed and been upgraded in the generative AI space over the last couple of weeks, and I'm working on getting videos together for a lot of different topics. If there's something in particular you want to know about, go ahead and let me know in the comments. Other than that, we're working on a couple of different video options that you'll see coming out over the next couple of weeks to help you be a better, more efficient creator in a lot of these Gen AI systems. I hope that you found this really helpful and that it saved you some token credits and gave you the ability to create even more things that you were seeing in your imagination and bringing them into the real world. If you created a really cool project that you want me to see, be sure that you let me know about it. Thanks for spending some time with me today, guys. My name's Jessica with the Real AI Agents, and as always, keep looking towards the future.